Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you so much for joining me today for another Nimble training webinar. My name is Nedia and I'm Nimble's social media marketing associate. Today I'll go through the entire application and I'll also demonstrate how to use the mobile app. If you have any questions or feedback during today's session, please type them into the question box and we'll cover them at the end of today's session. Before we get started, let's spend a few minutes talking about what Nimble is. So Nimble is an easy-to-use CRM that works for you in MS 365, Google Workspace, and everywhere else you work. It automatically combines your contacts, communication histories, email inboxes, and calendar appointments. It also integrates with social media and with almost 200 different CS applications. So let me go show the Today page. So here we are on Nimble's Today page. This page was designed to allow you to completely customize it to your own specific needs and the role you play in your company. But before we go over the Today page, we have to make sure that we have connected everything you need into Nimble. So let's first start in Networks and Imports. And to get to Networks and Imports, you have to go to the circle on the top right corner over here. And a drop-down menu should appear. And then Networks and Imports should be just right under My Account. First, let's make sure that your email account is connected to Nimble. Nimble supports all email providers as long as they're IMAP. We do not support POP, but if your email is POP, try contacting your email providers and see if you can enable IMAP for you. If you're using Office 365, we have great news for you. You can easily connect your email, contacts, and calendars with only one click. All you have to do is simply check all of these options over here, or whatever you would like to connect to Nimble, and then click on Connect Office 365. You'll be asked to log into your Office 365 account, then you can pick the contacts you want to import from your Outlook. Please always remember to apply a tag to any contacts import to ensure that both you and all your other users know who imported what contacts from where. If you're using Gmail, connecting your account is just as simple as Office 365. The only difference is that you have to scroll down a bit to connect your Google Calendar. So let's scroll down a bit. And over here, it's all highlighted, so that's where you will connect your calendar. If you're using other IMAP type emails, simply click Email Accounts, then click IMAP. And to connect your social networks, you will have to scroll down a bit and over here. Nimble currently only directly integrates with Twitter, meaning that after you connect your Twitter account onto Nimble, you will be able to see the entire history of the conversations you've had with your prospects and customers on Twitter, directly inside your Nimble account together with your email conversations. Facebook, together with Instagram and LinkedIn, made the business decision a few years ago to close their APIs, so we are currently not able to directly integrate with them. However, we still do make it possible for you to use Nimble for all your favorite social media networks with our browser extension called Nimble Prospector, which I will show you later in today's session. You can import your LinkedIn contacts into Nimble by downloading them in your LinkedIn account and then using our CSV import to bring them into Nimble. Again, make sure that you and your teammates always are applying tags to all contact imports. If you want to make sure your LinkedIn contacts are always up to date in your Nimble accounts, you can either run this export-import periodically, or you can use our Nimble Prospector extension to bring them in as you add them to your LinkedIn network. Note that Nimble will always automatically merge all duplicates if they have the same email address. As I said, you can import contacts into Nimble from a CSV file. This is a convenient way since many companies use spreadsheets to list their customers and prospects. You can either make sure that all your column names correspond with the names of the fields in Nimble, or you can manually map them upon import. If you're transitioning from a different CRM or importing contacts from LinkedIn, it's very likely that we already know what the original file looks like, and we'll give you the option to select from our saved mappings to save you time on mapping the fields manually. Another way to get your contacts into Nimble is using our integration with PySync, which you can see all of our integrations by clicking Show More above Social Networks. PySync is a company that specializes in bidirectional data synchronization. They offer a 14-day trial to all our users. During the trial, you can import as many contacts as you want into Nimble. After the trial expires, if you sync less than 2,000 contacts per month per account, you can enjoy using this integration for free. However, if you need to sync more than 2,000 contacts, there will be a charge associated with it. You can go into PySync's pricing page. My colleague Michaela will share a link in the chat box so you can get a price estimate. This charge will be on top of your Nimble subscription. So now that we have our emails and calendars are connected and our contacts are being imported, the Today page will be filled with more data. The Today page is completely customizable, and you and everybody else in your company can pick what widget they want to see, meaning that the widgets can move around by either clicking around Manage Widget, or you can click on the 3 dots on the top right corner of each widget, which would be over here. And you'll see that it says Move Widget, Hid Widget, and then Duplicate Widget. This allows you to move important widgets to you at the top of the Today page. Now let's go talk about each one of them. In the Deals widget, you can check the status of deals and your overall pipeline while taking progressive action directly from your dashboard. Click to access engagement history and current insight on key contacts. You can also update deal statuses, add notes to existing deals, or create new deals. In the Stage Funnel widget, this widget will allow you to track your sales funnel. You can monitor your activity, div prospects, leads, and opportunities at each stage, and see a quick overview of your stages to know where you need to focus to meet your goals. The pipeline chart will show you all your deals organized by date. The color coding on each bar gives you a visual of the amount for the deals you managing by the stage you're in for that month. The task widget, which is my personal favorite, will help you to follow through on all your to-dos. You can see all your open tasks, upcoming, overdue, completed, important, as well as your team's task. The events widget over here, let me scroll down, will allow you to review your meetings for the day. You can select from the drop-down menu and see either the calendars you've connected to Nimble or selected into your personal account. In the Signals widget, you will see your prospects and your customers are interacting with you on Twitter. And then for the highlighted widget, this will give you the option to see important contacts based on the parameters you set, such as title, location, company, or interest. To personalize suggestions for highlighted contacts, you can edit the search criteria by going to the top right corner and then clicking Settings. Then click Highlighted Contacts. From there, you'll be able to edit the contact keywords. Nimble will search these keywords in social and contact bio from your contact to resurface people for you to connect with. So going to the Contacts tab, the Contacts page will probably be the one you'll be using the most. Nimble has a lot of features, but it's a contact base at its heart. You can easily select if you want to see all contacts, just people, or just companies. Recently added contacts, recently viewed contacts, people you set stay in touch reminders for, as well as removed contacts. For removed contacts, the account admin can set how many days they allow the deleted contact to stay in this folder. Now let's review what an individual contact record looks like in Nimble. You can see all the basic information from a person on the top left, like their name, picture, title, short bio, and the company they work for. It's very easy to add notes. You can log any past activities, schedule future activities, including custom activities, which the account admin can create in settings. send templated tracked emails, and create deals. You can also edit and create new tags over here. Oh, I screwed too fast. Right there. As well as to qualify leads using the field like ranking, source, status, type, and owner. The individual fields can be customized in settings under data fields. Scrolling back up. On the right side of the contact record under interactions, you will see the entire history of the interactions you've had with this person, including all notes, emails, Twitter messages, deals, and all activities. You can also use the individual tabs, since the main interaction tab might become overwhelming as your relationship with your customer grows. So under the Activities tab, you can use the drop-down menu to select the specific activities you want to view. Under the Messages tab, this will show you all the emails and your team members have exchanged with your prospects and customers, and also your Twitter interactions will show up here. Under Notes, notes are searchable once you have several notes. You can easily find the one you are looking for by searching for keywords. And the Deals tab will give you an overview of all deals associated with this contact record. Next to Interactions tab, you will see Data fields, in which you can create up to 5 custom tabs. Under each of them, up to 200 individual custom fields. All these fields can be segmented. It's ideal to use any specific information you'd like to keep about your prospects and customers. Data fields can be configured in Settings, going back here, and then Data fields. You and your team members can upload files to contact records from OneDrive, Google Drive, and Dropbox. So going back to the contacts page, you can use our segmentation feature. You can launch the segmentation by either clicking on the main search box here on the top, or by clicking on Add Segment on the left side of your screen. The search engine in Nimble allows you to search across many different data fields to help you organize your contacts into lists. Once you organize your contacts into lists, you can take bulk actions like send group messages and set follow-up tasks. As an example, I'll be using these search criterias. So I'll add last contacted by team. Let's do non-specific date. And then email and is not empty. You can further refine the search by any original and custom fields. You can take several actions once you select your contacts. So as you can tell, once I selected them, all of these things above them will pop up. So you can mark them as important, apply a tag, set a stay in touch reminder. You can also merge duplicate contacts from here if there are any. You can also export if you are the account admin or the account admin gave you the permission to do so. You can also bulk delete contacts here, again, if you are the account admin or the account admin gave you the permission to do so. And you can send group messaging. Oh, replace that. Nimble allows you to send targeted email messages to 100, 200, or 300 contacts per day. This is a great way to send targeted sales outreach and marketing messages to a list of your contacts. The most common question about Nimble's group messaging is if it could replace a marketing automation system. The simple answer is no. Our group messaging was designed to use in conjunction with our segmentation feature to allow you to search target email outreaches. The biggest advantage of using Nimble's group messaging is that the messages are being sent from your own personal email address, so they'll appear as if they're being sent from you and not an email marking system. When composing emails in the group messaging window, you have the option to merge tags. So if you pick the first name merge tag, Nimble will automatically grab the first names of everybody in your outreach list with helping you personalize the message. You can attach files and use our formatting options to further customize your email. To set up your signature, you will go to Settings, so going to the top right corner again, going to Settings, Email Settings, and then click Email Signature. So from here, you can either create a new one or to copy and paste your existing signature. So going back to Group Messages, proceed. Once you create your email, you have the option to save it as a template, or you can also pick from an existing template. Templates are shareable, so you can easily share them with your team. Before you send your outreach, you can send yourself a test message to make sure that everything looks good over here. And you can also double check if there are no typos in the message and all the links that you added to that email work. So after you send your message, you can review the insights over here, like the clicks and opens. In the report, you can see how many people are interacting with your message. You will see how many people opened your message or have not opened it, how many of them clicked on the link you included. And you can then use this insight to follow up with these people that opened your message more than once or twice and send them another one. And the new activity listing, over here, the new activities listing provides you with a comprehensive table of scheduled and completed activities. The table column can be configured to quickly see which data is important to you. Additional activities can be exported. You will be able to select the team members you like to create the report on the left side. You can also pick which activities you want to see specifically and select the time frame on the right-hand side of the screen. You can configure the table to only focus on specific fields over here. Oop. And to export your report, you can click on the export button on the top. So on the deals, you can use the deals feature to manage sales opportunities, marketing projects, regular projects, renewals, and more. Nimble allows you to create as many pipelines as needed. Different users to be able to existing pipeline, go to customize pipelines. And then to create a brand new pipeline, just click on add pipeline. And then from there, you can name it and then start creating individual pipeline stages. So I'll just show you one that I made previously. So from here, the number of stages completely depends on your sales process. And you can also easily drag and drop them if you need to change the order and rename them. Nimble also gives you the option to set the number of days you allow each deal to be in each stage. And when we go back to the main tab view, you can select to see the list of your deals in the pipeline view or the list view. I personally like the pipeline view because I like how it visually looks. And then to create a deal, select New Deal. And then from there, you can name the deal, relate the deal to multiple contacts and companies, add the valued amount of the deal, schedule an expected close date, project the probability of closing, and choose the beginning stages for your deal. And then to export your deals from Nimble, click on Export to CSV. You'll then be able to choose which deal you would like to export, all, active, won, and lost. You can also export lists based on deals owned by specific team members. And then on the Reports tab, Nimble enables you to build reports to specific pipelines during a time period you select, for your team as a whole or by individual users. Choose from one of our present time periods or use the calendar towards the top of the page to set your own. So the dashboard is where you can view yourself and your team members' deal progress at a glance. Under Forecast Deals, this will show you all future deal outlooks. You can sort by specific time intervals, for example, 1 month, 6 months, and 1 year. and then the deals history. This is where you may view all historical deal results resulting by time intervals. So we covered all the main features in Nimble, so let's take a look at how you can use our browser extension and email add-ons to access Nimble from places where you'll probably spend the most time in. So I want to briefly talk about Nimble Prospector. Nimble Prospector is a browser extension that is available on Firefox, Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and we actually just recently have it on Safari as well. It works on any website, any third-party cloud-based application, and on any social media platform. So I will be showing you guys how to use it on LinkedIn. Okay, sweet. My internet has been really slow for the last few days, so I'm glad that's working a little bit faster. So Nimble Prospector will allow you to create new records and update existing ones straight from LinkedIn. You can simply hover over any hyperlink anywhere on LinkedIn, like over here. Let me just find someone to pick on. Okay, good. All right, let's do Mark. So just hover over them. Oh, sorry, let me open it up. There we go. Hover over and voila. Nimble already started creating one. Oh, no, he's actually in my contacts. I didn't even realize that. But normally if they're not in your contacts, it will show add contact in green over here. And then they'll give you suggested social media platforms that they're probably on. And then you can also go to their profile. See if we could find someone else to pick on. Oh, it's too. All right. Maybe it won't work since. Oops. All right, so it looks like, yeah, so over here it will show that I don't have him on my contacts, so I'll add in contacts. And then I will also add, if I want to, you can edit it from here as well. So I can add his organization, which would be Transformative Solutions. Oh, I spelled it wrong. And then I could put, scroll down to see his title, Principal. And then also from here, you can add their email once you find it, their phone number, Skype ID, address, their URL, and description as well. So I'll just scroll up and copy his description from LinkedIn, paste it over here. And the cool thing is that you can actually say where it was directly from, so LinkedIn. And then you can also add their socials over here as well. And then press save. And if you want to go straight to the Nimble app and looking at his contact record, you also click his name and it will go straight to his contact. All right, so since we went over how it works on social media, let's start talking about how it works on company websites. Nimble will also work on any company website. You can either open it on any site, or it'll bring up an existing contact record, or it will automatically create a new one for you. You can also use the extension in the About Us section when prospecting to help you add people's information onto your Nimble database. So I'll go to Neil Schaefer's website. I just like to go pick on his website. I like his content a lot, so. And then let's go to his About Me section. And then let's turn on Nimble. And then once I highlight his name, it should, yeah, his contact record is already available. And I already have him on my Nimble account. All right. So now that we have that done, let's take a look at how it works in Outlook. On the desktop version, I am aware that they actually changed the Outlook, like how it looks like. They have a new version of it. So on the old version, let me switch it to the old version. Switch back. So on the old version, you'll be able to just simply click on the Nimble icon on the top right corner to bring it up. And if you open up an email of a person that you already have an existing contact record for in Nimble, you'll be able to update the record from here as well. So you can mark them as important, set up a stay in touch reminder, create notes, tasks, deals, etc. And you can also see the history of the interaction. And for the new version, so I'll turn it on. So what's different from the new version is that the LinkedIn icon is not going to be automatically showing up. You actually have to click on the message and click on the 3 dots over here, and then the Nimble icon will show up. And you'll be able to do the same thing that I previously showed you from before. And then if you are using Chrome, and if you already installed the Nimble Prospector extension, the Gmail extension will automatically appear on your Gmail, and you'll be able to do everything that I already just covered. So I'll show you how it looks like in Gmail. Pick on Michaela. So for me, I personally like to hide my my Nimble browser extension just so I could just see everything on my screen, since I'm using a laptop and everything kind of looks kind of small. But once I do want to see the details of whoever I'm emailing, I just click on the Nimble icon and it just shows all the information of Michaela. So that is it for how Nimble looks like on my desktop. I'll be now showing how Nimble looks like on mobile. Let me just get situated over here. Oh, that is my kitty Ori. So Nimble is available in both iOS and Android. I'm going to be previewing what the app looks like on my iPhone, but the features on Android are almost identical. So the first tab you'll see when you log into the app is the Agenda tab. It will allow you to quickly see what meetings are in your calendar for the day and the contact records of the people you're meeting with, including information such as when you last spoke to them, their contact details, if there are any notes you or anybody in your team created, and if there are any pending deals. You can also easily email them or dial them here. Under Task, you'll be able to see all your upcoming, completed, started, and also a delegated task. You can also create a new task from here. Under Contacts, this will allow you to search for individual contact records by using the search box. You can also click the 3 lines on the left-hand side of the corner of the screen and search all contacts, people, companies marked as important, recently viewed, recently added, recently contacted, stay in touch, as well as to view contacts from saved searches and those that have been tagged. In the right-hand corner of your screen, after clicking the plus button, you'll be able to choose the option to create a new contact or company record. And then under the Deals tab, you can easily preview all your deals from your pipelines and also create a new one. And then under the More's tab, this will give you the option to view the email tracking, which will give you insight on how people are interacting with your messages. And you'll also be able to set up notifications and easily contact our support team if you have any questions. So that is it for the Nimble 101 general overview and mobile overview. Our next training webinar is going to be next Wednesday, which is going to be Nimble for Teams, best practice and features. And we also will have a Nimble general overview again on the 17th. So we have a special offer for our new users that I have spoke about in the beginning of this session. If you sign up today, you'll get 30 days of Nimble for free. So Michaela, if you can send that URL on the chat box, so it'll be easier for people who are interested to join. And then once you're done with that, Michaela will actually help answer all the questions that you guys asked. So let me pass the mic and screen to her.
Make presenter.
Okay, perfect.
Show my screen. So we had a question about if we have a manual for Nimble. So while we don't have a manual that you could download like in the PDF form and use it to implement Nimble, we have a pretty robust support forum. So you can go to it directly. You can bookmark support.nimble.com, or when you go on our website, under resources, you can go into support. And then once you're here, you can search by keywords. So if you are just getting started with Nimble, you're interested in importing context, you can type in the keywords, contact import. For most of our support articles, we also have how-to videos. So I think this might even be better than a manual because you can actually search in it. So we have that. Of course, you can always attend any of our webinars. So you are currently on the training webinar. Just want to make sure that you know that we also host daily Q&A sessions. They are from 9 a.m. to 9:30 Pacific time, and they are different than our training webinars in the way that you can actually ask your questions real time, and the person will share their screen. And it's not the demo. It's basically you can just show up, ask any questions, and one of our customer support representatives will be there to help you troubleshoot. So then we had a question from Jennifer. She's saying that sometimes Nimble freezes and a little circle is going around. What's causing that? So Jennifer, it can be a lot of things. Of course, one of them could be network connectivity issues. If you're certain that that's not the issue, if this happens a lot, please write to us at care@nimble.com, and then our engineers will be able to look into it and dig deeper, because it can be a lot of things. So if it's something that happens a lot and it's worrisome, please email us at care@nimble.com, and we'll make sure to look into it for you. Also, Steve's asking, he says, silly question, but I assume any old changes to contacts in Nimble update MS365 accordingly. It's not a silly question, it's a great question, actually. Let's talk about that. So when you connect your Office 365 into Nimble, you can just use the one button connector. We automatically import your emails, link them. We give you the option to import contacts. Then we automatically match them with the history of conversations and history on your calendars. But then the contact sync won't be happening two-way automatically. So that will have to be set up. If you add contacts manually, we will automatically link them to your emails, given you have the appropriate email on the contact record and you're emailing the person on that email. So that will be linked automatically going forward always. Also the calendar information. But if you want to set up a two-way sync with Office 365, you will have to go into Contact and use our PySync integration. So if you sync less than 2,000 contacts per month per user, it will be free, and it's super easy to set up. You basically just authorize both applications, and then sync. PySync gives you rules, so you can set up rules on the if this then that principle, and then basically tell Office 365 or MS 365 and Nimble, what you want to sync, how you want to organize the contacts, and so on. So not a silly question at all. If you want to keep both applications in sync, then you will have to use PySync in order to achieve that. Steve's also asking, you mentioned I can send up to 100 or 200 emails per day using Nimble. What server are they being delivered from? Meaning, do I have to worry about any sort of blacklisting? I'm not spamming, of course. Another great question. So when you go into group messaging, you'll see that the maximum number is 300 here. That is the total maximum that you can send from Nimble. On the basic account, you will have 100. For additional $10, you can upgrade for another 100. So for additional 20, you can get to 300 per day per user. The messages, the emails are being sent from your email provider. So in your case, it will be coming from your Office 365 Outlook. And this is exactly why we set the limit so low, so you don't get flagged as a spammer. So it is technically possible to send more via your email using, the Nimble's interface, but we put a cap on it to ensure that none of our customers will ever get flagged, because sometimes you have the need to send 300 and then you also send a lot of individual messages, so we don't want anybody to go over that. So that's the difference between group messaging in Nimble and like a marketing automation system that might be using their own servers to send those messages, and these are being sent from the email you connect to Nimble. So in my case, these will be coming as individually sent messages from Gmail. So for each group message, I will actually have individual email in my Gmail sent folder. We have another question. I have used Office 365 as my lousy CRM. I have used many of the 100 or so contact fields. Can I sync all of the contact fields and maintain them synced going forward? You can set up the sync using PySync. They also allow for custom field sync. So you will be able to set up, say what information from where will go where in Nimble. And yes, so you can have that synced going forward. If you have more than 2,000 contacts that you will be syncing, there will be a charge associated with that. We already shared a link to PySync's pricing, so you can type in the number of contacts you would be syncing, and then PySync will let you know how much that would be. And I'm not sure if there's a limit on how many contact fields you can bring in. I would just imagine that 100 should be more than fine, but that would be something to maybe dig into on PySync's website, or even contact their support. Oh, and Steve says, thank you for your answers. You are very welcome. I'm not sure, do we have any other questions? Nope. I'll give it a minute or two. So just to remind everybody, reiterate that on nimble.com, under resources, you can go into our demos and webinars section. You can schedule time to attend our daily onboarding and best practices webinars. That's like a screen share troubleshooting kind of thing. Of course, we won't be able to dig into anything that would require us to really look at your personal account. Then we would direct you to write in. But if you're struggling with something, you have questions about how to set up something, how certain features work, this webinar is perfect for that. And then we host these weekly training webinars. One week we focus on the general overview and the mobile overview, and then the next week we do a specific feature. If you have any feedback, any suggestions on what we should cover in any of our future training webinars, there will be a survey after today's session. So please let us know, and we'll be more than happy to schedule some. And then we also host case study webinars. So we will be hosting one with one of our customers who will be showing our users how law firms can can leverage a CRM. So of course, not applicable to everybody, but our influencer webinars usually are. We try to pick webinars with experts in sales, marketing, small business, entrepreneurship. So we're hosting one with Mark Schaefer, who just launched a new book, and it's all about how you can build a momentum for your business and get it going. And it's a new book that he just published. It's specifically written for the era that we all live in right now. And then Kim Beasley is going to be hosting a webinar with us, and she'll be giving tips to entrepreneurs, business owners that might be introverts and not super comfortable with just hopping on podcasts and just like promoting their business everywhere. So she'll be basically coaching introverted entrepreneurs on how on the strategies they can take to still grow their business successfully in today's world. So these are our webinars. Feel free to check them out. And we do have another question that just came in from Steve. I have collected over 4,500 Outlook MS365 contacts over a dozen years, and they are a bit of a mess. I guess I just want to know if I should be cleaning initially in Outlook or Nimble. I have collected over, oh, okay, so it just copied it twice there. You know, you could bring these all in using PieSync on the free trial. You don't have to pay. You can bring in as many contacts as you want. So you could bring them in, all of them, and then you could possibly use our segmentation feature to see which ones you would want to get rid of. So our segmentation will allow you to come up with empty record, for instance. So if you create a search, if you have your contacts here, and then you tell Nimble, show me all the people I don't have phone numbers for, then maybe even contacts that you don't even have email for. And then you can further refine it, even try maybe last contacted by me and not in the last, I don't know, a year. Then you'll have contact records that you probably just have names for. You don't have their email, you don't have their phone number, you haven't talked to them in more than a year. So maybe these could be some that you could delete. So that could be one way to just bring them all in and then try to use the segmentation to clean it up a little bit. Or of course, you can just clean it up in Outlook before importing it into Nimble. Another way, actually, when you're using, if you decide to use PieSync to bring them in, you can also decide some rules as you're setting up the import. So depending how you have them organized, you could do the cleanup possibly this way as well. So I hope it helped. If anybody has any more questions, if anything comes to mind later, please feel free to contact us at care@nimble.com, and we'll be more than happy to help you out. So with that, thank you for your time, for your questions and your interest in Nimble, and I hope that everybody will have a wonderful rest of their day. Thank you so much for attending. Bye.